Namaskaram. We have completed Dhritarashtra's marriage to Gandhari last day. Now, Bhishma prepares, he goes for Pandu's marriage, and we have already mentioned Kunti's childhood and how she got a boon which could be used 5 times, and one of that she already used as a test case, and a boy was born who was flown through the Ganga river, and the Kuru's charioteer by name Radha picked the child up and gave to his wife to look after. And he plays a very important role in the Mahabharata story, the child. And Bhishma heard that the Kunti Bhoja's daughter, known by the name Kunti, was very beautiful, and the family was a good alliance for the Kauravas. So Bhishma sent Pandu for the wedding of Kunti, which was announced by Kunti Bhoja. And one usual way of marriage for kings, Kshatriyas, was to have a free choice left to the princess. She would be taken around an array of expectant suitors would be seated, and the princess would be taken by her friends who knew about the background of each of the princes who were participating. And when the princess reaches one king or prince, the accompanying maiden will announce, "Oh, he is the king of such and such race, and he has done so many distinguished feats in his life, won so many battles, and if he has other wives, all those details will be announced." And the princess could look at his face and think about it and decide either to choose him or proceed. If she decides to choose, she simply puts the garland which she would be carrying on his neck, and then her father would arrange for the proper marriage. And Kunti was similarly taken around, and when she reached Pandu, and she already had heard about the various conquests Pandu had made, and Pandu was also very handsome to look at. When he came for the wedding with all the gold, armaments, gold ornaments, and with proper dress, the only defect, pale patches, that was not visible. And Kunti chose him, and Kunti was taken by Pandu and his soldiers to Hastinapura. It is customary to go for such weddings with an army. Army consists, depending upon the status, consisting of 4 divisions: the infantry, cavalry, elephants and chariots. And that was how Pandu came. That is to protect against any attack by the defeated kings. And Pandu went back. There was no problem. And at Hastinapura, a proper wedding ceremony, as per the ritual with Havan and all that, went back. And Kunti started living happily in the palace. But Bhishma thought that Pandu should have one more wife, because as the king, he must make sure that he has a male progeny, and while he is still young, he must have another wife at least. Oh, I'm sure I have talked about the mantra and all that. And for the second wife, Bhishma himself took Pandu to the kingdom of Madra. Madra, the books say, is around Nepal. Some say it is in Punjab, and some say in Nepal itself. The king of Madra was called Shalya. Shalya was his name. And it's called, Bhishma heard that the princess was ready to go into marriage. So Bhishma took Pandu to the Madra king and said, I know that you are thinking of giving your daughter in marriage. My son, this Pandu, he is a suitor, so please give us your daughter. Then Shalya said, I know you all about you, and I know that you are too good for my daughter, because your family, your race is very illustrious, and I know Pandu is also a very bright and promising prince. But my family has a tradition. We give our girls in marriage in return for a suitable price. It is called Kanya Shulka, is bride money. It is the opposite of dowry, where the husband the wife brings money or wealth to the family of the husband. This is the other way around. The what is it called? Husband's family gives wealth to the girl's family to compensate for their loss, something like that. So Bhishma said, yeah, I know about it, and I have come prepared. And he had brought valuable gifts. In the epics, we hardly hear about money. The exchanges were always in kind. And for kings, it used to be chariots, horses, elephants. They were all valued as gifts because they were very useful in war. And of course, gold ornaments, jewels, and also valuable clothes. So in many cases, servants, male or female. And Bhishma had brought plenty of valuable gifts, so he gave them all to Shalya, and Shalya was more than happy. He said, "Oh, I am very happy, you have paid enough for my daughter," and gave Madri. The princess was known as Madri. It only means the daughter of Madra king, or the princess from the land of Madra. And Madri was given to Bhishma. Bhishma took her along with Pandu to the Hastinapura. And Pandu was married with the usual ceremonies with Madri also. After the second marriage, Pandu went into a tour of conquests. That's again customary those days. When a king becomes powerful, he goes out with a large army and starts with neighboring kingdom, and if they are weaker in the war, they are won over, and he demands a tribute, a suitable compensation for the war. And after that, that land becomes his responsibility to look after. He maintains an army there, everything. So Pandu goes into a tour of conquest. So we shall continue tomorrow with that. Namaskaram.